Hey guys, Chickadee Maine, aka Deboo.com with a Deboo.com surf forecast update. This forecast update effective around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, July 25th, 2015. And guys, here's a latest look at this area of low pressure that we've been monitoring for the last several days. Northeast winds have now began in earnest on Frying Pan Shoals and on the Grays Reef buoy. It's a short northeast fetch, but we should start to see a little bit of building surf for northeast Florida starting tomorrow into Monday, with the possibility of some larger surf coming around midweek. Now, overnight model runs have once again flipped back to the negative on a larger swell event. Right now, not expecting much. But we will be continuing to monitor the forecast. Here's what it looks like, guys, in the recent satellite loops. We've got a couple of 2-3 areas of spin that we've been watching over the last couple of days. This little area of spin that you have here south of the Outer Banks, that's that little vorticity spin that dropped down into here overnight and is now located here southeast of the South Carolina, North Carolina border. The other little vorticity spin that was up in here on the Carolina, Georgia border yesterday has now dropped into northeast Florida. You can see it clearly right in here, this little rotational spin. Now, this is forecast to continue to drop down the coast, and we still have the little vorticity spin that was off central Florida yesterday that's trying to spin up in here. But you can see as this spin continues to also drop down, this one here is going to try and get on top and then hopefully settle down in here off central Florida. The reason why there's confusion in the models is the models are trying to dominate or figure out which one is going to dominate, because we still have the Gulf of Mexico still in play. There's a little vorticity spin that popped up in here yesterday in the Big Bend, and we're seeing it again this morning. Now you can see as the push is to the south, and then also to the southwest in here. This is going to drop down just a little bit further, and you can see that there's convection that is associated with this little vorticity spin. Wind shear is moderate in here, not favorable for the development, but if this can get over a little bit further south and over some warmer waters, this also has a chance to become the dominant feature. Now, the Euro model yesterday latched on to an area of low pressure off the central Florida coast, lift it to the north, and then off towards the northeast over the Outer Banks. And then in the overnight run, the Euro is now giving this a little bit more weight, now has shifted its track back towards the west, and then lifts up towards the north and keeps the low over inland before it moves off towards the northeast. Now, another characteristic of what I'm seeing in the models is that the models continue to push development back towards the back end of each run, meaning outside of a 5-day window. This is very unreliable to depend on the models outside of 5 days, although we do look at it for indicators. So there's still lots of uncertainty in the forecast. We're just going to have to see what happens during the course of the day. The next 48 hours will be the telltale of whether or not we're going to get any larger surf other than knee to waist high. So that's all we got for you for now, guys. Stay tuned for the next update.